Hello boys and girls, welcome to my channel. I'm the Joe PT, and for today I have in here a very interesting game. Okay, it is called Frostpunk and it is developed by the 11-bit. So in case you don't know about 11-bit, it was the developers of one of the first indie games that I liked a lot, which was a tower of defense game, but inverted. So instead of defending, you needed to attack. It was very interesting. The graphics were pretty good for an indie game at the time. And then you probably know this developer because they developed a game called This War of Mine. It's a game that I never played, so I have no idea about it, but I know that it was very successful and many people liked the game. But now it's 2018 and they decided to come out with a new game, and this game, it is called Frostpunk. So involves like a story of the world that was affected by some sort of global warming. I don't really know, but what happens is the world is completely with snow and negative Celsius degrees regarding temperatures. And so what you need to do is to build a city and control, you know, your workers, employ them. It's a little bit like Anno. If you don't know Anno from Ubisoft, you should check it out. It's a little bit like it, but developed by the 11-bit. So for the settings, this game it is a little bit demanding, so I'm using borderless to record, but I recommend you to use only full screen if you are going to play the game, and I'm using a mix between a medium and high settings. Basically, this is just medium settings. I was completely fine with medium settings, but the shadows were very pixelated and there was no anti-aliasing. And so I decided to enable full screen AA, which in case of this game it is FXAA, so it's not demanding, you can enable it. And I raised the shadows to high. Texture quality, I didn't notice any difference, so I just let it on medium. And there we go. This is all the results that I gathered in my benchmark. So at the very high or maximum settings, the average was below 30 frames per second. With the high settings, the average was at 30 frames per second, but there was a couple of drops. Medium settings, it was a little bit more stable, but for me, the shadows and the lack of anti-aliasing was bad. And the low settings, it's a really big downgrade in visual quality. There is no tessellation on slow. Shadows are completely pixelated. And so with my settings, I got an average of 33 and a 1% low of 28. But keep in mind that this is just at the beginning of the game. I'm not really sure how demanding this game can get if your city is too big, but I believe that this will be okay. Okay, so one of the other things that I want to talk to you about is that I created a secondary channel for playthroughs, and now my playthrough about Postal 2 is now available. It includes the entire Postal 2 game and also Postal 2 Apocalypse Weekend, which was the DLC. I completed the entire game in one video. So if you are interested in seeing a little bit about the game, just check it out. Keep in mind that this video, it is age restricted, so it means that you need to be over 18 in order to watch it, because Postal 2, it was a very violent game. Okay, so I think that's all for now. I think it's time to talk a little bit about gameplay. So regarding gameplay, let's start right now. So we are in the very beginning of the game, and so you can see that it's 20 degrees Celsius negative, and the first thing that you might need to, that you might want to do, is to grab some coil, because that building at the middle, it's a generator of it's you know, the city around it, or around the city, and so we need to get coil in order for it to work. So Frostpunk, the punk there, it means something, because you are going to build a city that it's going to be a punk city. Okay, so you can attribute the workers that you want. I'm going to try to grab some wood too, because we're going to need to build houses to the population. And as you can see, the graphics of this game, despite the game being very demanding, there are very nice details, like people going through the snow using tessellation. Okay, that animation there building the road is not too good, but all the snow deformation, it is amazing. And this is what you adjust in the snow quality. It is very demanding for these type of graphic cards, because this first generation of AMD GPUs weren't really good with tessellation, and so if you raise no quality, it really impacts a lot the performance. That is why I decided to keep it on medium, because if you decide to drop that setting to low, it's going to remove the entire tessellation and the snow will look really bad. Okay, so I believe this game is very demanding mostly because of that. So as you can see, the workers, there are a collection of workers that are going to get the hood, others are building the stockhouse. I'm not saying the stockhouse, but the place where they are going to save the coil and then transport to the city. So I think you are pretty much getting the picture. So overall, you need to keep in mind with your decisions will affect what the population will think about you. Some people will gain hope in survival, some people might not gain any work. If you lose all the hope, it's going to be very difficult because people will launch to you an ultimatum, and if you don't obey to their rules, you will lose the game. And so you need to control basically the population, do what they need and try to stabilize. Sometimes it's very difficult because, as you can expect, this is not easy at all, and so basically you need to evolve stuff. There is a big surprise at the end of the video, because when I was recording this gameplay through this half an hour more and less, I wasn't really expecting that we could transport ourselves to other places or to investigate other places, so it was a big surprise to me. I'm not really sure how it can get expanded or not, but yeah. I think that's all that I want to talk about the game. In case you are interested about this game, you can get this game on Steam. It is costing around 30 bucks. I think it's a nice price. It's not too expensive or too cheap. I think it's the right price for the quality of this game. Okay, it seems that there is a lot of passion put into it. And so if you want to get this game through Steam, by the time of this video you can get it for around 30 bucks. Although if you want to get it through Kinguin, I'm not really sure, I didn't check it out yet, but I'm going to leave a link on the description, because Kinguin usually, after a while, sometimes it gets more cheaper than on Steam, and so if you want to get this game cheaper, probably you can get through there. And please use the link on the description. Okay, so guys, I think that's all that I want to talk about Frostpunk. Hope you enjoy the rest of the gameplay. It's pretty much half an hour of gameplay, so it should allow you to understand more about the game and the stuff that you can do, the buildings, the decisions that you can take, because sometimes, you know, the population suggests you or complains about something and you need to make a decision. For example, there is a thing that's going to happen in here. That is, for example, population complains about the fact they are living on the middle of the streets with all this snow and coldness, and they don't have any shelter. And so they ask you, so what you're going to do? Are you going to build some shelter? Are you going to build shelter for all of us? Or you are not going to do anything and we will, I don't know, get very unsatisfied with you and cause problems? And so, depending on your decision, you need to really do it, because if you say something like, okay, I can build some shelters, they say something like, okay, so build 30 shelters, please. And you have like 2 days to do it, or 3. If you don't do it in 2 or 3 days, man, you are completely okay. So I think you can see more and less what you can expect. The game is very well ranked on Steam, and for now the only complaints that people are making with this game, it's just there is not too much replayability, so the steps are more and less the same. But apparently people are complaining about that, and the 11-bit is already hearing the feedback from the people, and they said they are going to add a lot of stuff to the game in the future. So I guess this game is going to get a lot of support, and it's going to have probably the features that people are requesting. So this has many things to be a great game in the future. So again, guys, that's all that I want to talk about Frostpunk. Hope you keep enjoying the rest of the video, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
A new law has passed.